Okay, so down at the bottom of your notes, I want you to type in the word investing. And so we're going to go through just a little portion of the investing part, and then we'll really get into stocks and the stock market a little bit more. So the first thing that I want you to put in your notes is going to be compounding returns. Compounding returns. That's COMPOUNDING, compounding returns. And what that is it's returns that enable you to earn more money by reinvesting. Okay, so compounding returns are returns that enable you to earn more money by reinvesting. Returns that enable you to earn more money by reinvesting. So, what does that really mean? Well, if you had $100 and you put in, you don't need to put this in notes. You can just listen, and hopefully this will help explain that term just a little bit more. If you had $100 and you put $100 in your bank account every month, and that's all that you did, you just put it into a checking account, it wouldn't do anything. There's no interest being added to it. There's no compounding return that you're gaining from it. Okay. Now, if you put it in $100 into an account every month, and it had a 5% or 1%, some sort of compounding return, that's going to cause that money to grow. Does that make sense? Everybody understand? So that's what compounding returns is all about. All right, so the next one that I want you to put is 401k. 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 And 401k is a retirement fund that has limits per year. Okay, so 401k is a retirement fund and it has limits per year. There are also penalties if you take out the money early. So if you use that retirement money before a set date, there could be penalties. Your next note is if no company offers a retirement, if a company doesn't offer a retirement, then you would want to start an IRA. IRA. Does anybody know what IRA stands for? Nope, it's individual. So IRA is individual retirement plan. It's an individual retirement plan. Below that part of it, what I'd like you to put down is traditional and Roth. So those are going to be a couple of different ones. And they have different benefits and different qualifying parts to them. But a traditional and a Roth IRA, those are going to be a couple of different retirement funds that you would want to, that you could get familiar with. Next, I want you to put investing. Now, you have investing already in your notes once, but I want it to be down here so you have a fresh definition of it. Roth, R-O-T-H, and traditional. Those would be just two different types of retirement funds. Roth and traditional. And then after that, I just want you to put down investing again. So does anybody remember what investing is? We had saving and we had investing. What was investing? You can scroll up to the top if you'd like. Yep, exactly. So I want you to put that down again, down here. So you can copy and paste it, or you could retype it. Investing is just putting money away so that it will increase and turn into something larger later on. Okay, that's why we invest. Just a few more left, a few more terms that I want you to have down. The next one, this next category, I guess you could say, is called bonds, bonds. So a bond. And the first one is a treasury bond. A treasury bond. Treasury bond. And this earns interest. So you could just put down for treasury bond or a T bond. It earns interest until it matures. Okay, so it earns interest until it matures. All that means is that once it hits a specific date, then you can cash it in and it'll turn into some actual cash. The next one is municipal bond. MUNICIPAL. Municipal bond. And what this municipal bond does or means is that securities, so financial securities, so this money, go to pay for construction, bridges, and schools. So a municipal bond, the money would go to finance, basically, the construction, bridges, and schools. Just 3 words left that I want you to have down on here. And this next one is a mutual fund. MUTUAL, mutual fund. When it comes to investing, you may have heard of or will hear about mutual funds. And all that a mutual fund is a mix of stocks and bonds. Okay, that just means that you have some stock and you have some bonds. Next one is called index. Index, INDEX, fund, index fund. And the definition of an index fund is something made to track the market. Okay, so an index fund is just something that's made to track the market. Okay, so it helps us tell us where the market is at financially. All right, we have one term left in this portion of it. This one is called dividends. 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 Has anybody ever heard of a dividend or something paying a dividend? When I watch sports games, especially like in baseball, they say dividend all the time. a lot of times what they'll do is they'll bring a left-handed pitcher in the middle of the game to face a left-handed batter. And what they do is if that guy comes in and faces that lefty batter and he strikes him out, then the announcer might say something like, that move just paid a nice dividend. Okay, so that's where it's used at before. Now, what is it? Well, a dividend is paid out on something, paid out on money invested in a company. Okay, so that's what the meaning is. A dividend is paid out on money invested in a company. Okay, so that's how we're going to use it. Now, what they're meaning in sports is that they made this change and it paid off for them. Okay, so they brought this lefty pitcher in thinking that this lefty on lefty matchup would be a good strategy, right? And so when that left-handed pitcher strikes out the left-handed batter that was up, that they brought him into the game to face, then it paid dividends. It paid off. There's something good for him. All right, so that's going to be the first part of your notes. We'll get into stocks and the stock market a little bit more shortly.